Eat the frozen fruit and my undead will upgrade to a mythical beast. Chapter 3. As Lin Ran finished speaking, the frozen fruit in his hand suddenly floated up out of thin air to the top of the little skeleton's head, and then turned into a substantial ice-blue stream of light that poured down like a waterfall, completely covering the little skeleton's body. At the same time, the two icons symbolizing Skeleton Warrior and Frozen Fruit on the system panel also began to move closer to the middle. Lin Ran watched with bated breath. The two icons quickly moved closer together until they overlapped perfectly. The moment they merge into one icon, suddenly a bright brilliance burst out, rushing towards Lin Ran, filling his field of vision. Lin Ran only felt a roar in his head, and an endless stream of light seemed to fly past him. The next second, then he entered another world. This is an expanse of snow-white land of extreme ice, with rugged icicles that are thousands of meters high rising from the ground, towering into the sky. Above the sky, there are shocking spacetime cracks all over the void, emitting a gorgeous and strange deathlight. The ferocious beasts surged out of the cracks endlessly, but the next second they surged out, they instantly turned into ice sculptures. They lost their vitality and fell from an altitude of 10,000 meters, shattering into powder. Billions of ice sculptures fill the sky, like stars falling and pouring rain. A magnificent scene that is shocking to the extreme. At the end of this scene, there is a towering ice tower surrounded by countless towering icicles and stars, as if it were ascending to the sky. At the highest point of the ice tower, there is a figure wearing a large cloak standing with a sword. The figure is thin and upright. The entire body's bones seem to be cast from the most crystal-clear blue ice in the world, exuding a dreamlike sheen and carrying the majesty of frost-like coldness. The figure alone faced the billions of ferocious beasts in the sky, but only relying on his own strength. It was able to forcefully suppress the monstrous flames of those billions of ferocious beasts. Lin Ran looked hard, and the person on top of the ice tower seemed to notice his gaze, and suddenly turned his head and looked back. That's a pair. An ice-blue soul flame that surges, burns, and dances like the sea. The moment they looked at each other from afar, Lin Ran's mind suddenly roared again. The law of beast control in the void trembled violently, and an ancient and complicated evolutionary genealogy tree was reflected in the depths of the beast control master's eyes. Starting from the very bottom of the trunk, it continues to grow and spread upward. The icy blue life light circulates and lights up each evolutionary fulcrum one by one, until the highest point of the branches of this evolutionary lineage, the brightest and brightest branch, lights up. It is a string of ancient and obscure beautiful words. But at this moment, Lin Ran suddenly had a strange and familiar understanding in his heart, and understood the connotation of the words. Guardian of the permafrost land. The cold prison king. When Lin Ran was still immersed in the shocking pictures of the extreme ice world, outside the room where he lives, an astonishing phenomenon suddenly appeared in the night sky of Shanghai City. The starlight broke through the night, the clouds rolled and set off mighty vortex ripples, and the laws and spiritual energy of the entire heaven and earth space were violently shaken. The icy blue light runes seemed to have substance, falling lightly from the night sky with the stars. Within a radius of hundreds of miles, all ice-type professionals and ice-type beast masters were pleasantly surprised and benefited, feeling that their own and even the beast masters' levels had been significantly improved. And there are a handful of truly powerful people with outstanding talents and even extensive knowledge, but their minds are swaying and shaking because of this vision itself. Shanghai City, Sigong Office. The middle-aged man who was the highest chief executive of Shanghai suddenly opened his eyes with a look of shock and surprise. As a dignified six-level beast master, he can feel the power of the majestic laws contained in this night sky vision, and he can easily recognize the origin of this vision. This is. Same moment. Southeast Province, provincial capital, Kanglan City. In the backyard of an exquisite garden, a young man with a handsome face and extraordinary bearing suddenly raised his head and looked at the southern night sky with a surprised look on his face. Only those with top talent in beast control will have natural phenomena when they awaken. But this kind of strange formation. The southeastern province, between the mountains in the extreme west. In the forest, a 2-meter-tall, burly and rugged man stepped on the corpse of a ferocious beast that was at least gold level. He looked up at the night sky and couldn't help but exclaimed. At least. Does it have to be diamond high-grade talent to awaken the beast master? Damn it, which old reclusive monster came out to show off? Or, is there any young peerless evildoer among those families? Southeast Province, the extreme southern sea. Between the rocks and the raging waves, a beautiful woman in green clothes stood barefoot, followed by a magical blue unicorn-like beast. The woman's black hair was like a waterfall, casually scattered behind her shoulders. She turned her head and looked north, her eyes were as bright as stars, and she spoke softly. Diamond level? Wrong. Could it be? Is it Grandmaster level? At the moment, Lin Ran had no idea that the vision he had caused had shaken the entire Shanghai city and even the entire southeastern province. Thoughts returned to reality. He was still thinking about the shocking images he had just seen, as well as the ancient and complicated text messages. On the system virtual panel in front of him, the light of the icons merged into one grid has gradually dissipated. Only an icon of the ice blue skull, symbolizing the new beast, is left, lying quietly in the synthesis grid of the system panel. At the same time, the fusion of frozen fruit and small skeleton is also coming to an end. The icy blue energy falling like a waterfall was gradually absorbed by the undead summoned beast wrapped in it. The original skeletal warrior appeared in front of the master with a brand new appearance. The skeleton of the whole body has obviously been raised by more than 10 centimeters, making it appear taller and straighter. The bones of the body have changed from the original gray-white to crystal clear pure white, with a faint blue light flowing in them. The hands, starting from the palms to the forearms, have been replaced by solid-colored ice crystal bones, exuding a dangerously cold air. In the empty eye sockets, the two soul flames turned from pale to ice blue. Deep as the sea, faintly burning and beating. It seems like it's always ready to boil. Lin Ran held his breath in anticipation and couldn't wait to check the attribute panel of his first beast in front of him. But the moment I saw the first few lines of information text, I was almost stunned by the shock. Name, Ice Blue Bone Guard. Attributes, Ice System, Undead System. Growth Potential, King's Middle Grade. Not a top-quality diamond. Not at the Grandmaster level either. But King level.